is 11-6. The floor is 5-12. What's more likely?
Yeah, so I like Shady as a head coach more than I think anybody else does. Brought in 4 new running backs to address the running game. Drafted an offensive lineman in the first round. Okay, so they're trying to address that. Now I just hope he will address the running game, and I hope he will stay with the running game. There were times when we were together where I had to nudge him a lot more towards the running game.
No.
Yeah,
you wanted them to run the ball more?
I know.
No,
That's
that does sound.
I know that's shocking to you. I like Eberflus as the DC. I think that he's going to simplify the defense, does some complicated things on third down, but it's going to be a nice balance and probably an easier program for them to digest than what they had last year. And you can say what you want about him as a head coach, but he has that experience, so that's going to allow Brian to concentrate more on the offense, and he will add value there. I'm not sold on Pickens. Wide receivers that leave Pittsburgh typically don't do very well. And I don't love the fact that we're back to more training camp drama, so I'm going floor.
Wow.
Well, I thought you started off like you were going
misdirection.
That was.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to rely on the run game because I don't think, even though they brought in 4 running backs, I don't know if any of them are going to pop, and I think they're going to be trailing a bunch. The only thing that I think hits the over for the Cowboys this year is Dak Prescott passing yards and CeeDee Lamb receptions and receiving yards, because I do think statistically Dak and CeeDee could have huge years because they're trailing a lot and they have to throw the ball a lot. But I think this is the least talented team the Cowboys have had of Dak's career, and because of that, I think you are one Micah Parsons holdout or injury away defense in football, so I am floor.
Well, look, if somebody gets hurt, but I look at this as I'm assuming everybody's healthy. Sure. That's how I make my predictions. And remember, Wilds, this is not about what they get closer to.
No.
Closer to the ceiling, closer. This is which one of those 2. All right?
We know.
This isn't, are they going to go 7-10 again? No.
We know, bro.
Okay, I just want you to remember.
Thanks for clarifying that. I was confused which it was.
Because look, they won 7 games a year ago with Dak missing half the season. With Micah missing several games, all right?
This is the Rodgers.
What?
This is the Rodgers take.
It's just the truth.
Games better than
No, it's
Cooper
the truth.
Rush.
Dak Prescott, every year of his career that he has been healthy for the season, 16 games or more, he's 8-8 was his worst. He's not going 5, and I'm not the biggest Dak fan. They ain't going 5-12 with a healthy Dak Prescott. All right, the run game, I'm not all high on it because those guys didn't average 4 yards a carry last year. But no, there's no way they're going 5-12.
It's funny because he said 8-8, and that's right in the middle between 5 and 11. Obviously, it's a little bit different because of the extra game, but like it's right there. Anyway, it's also funny that Wild said like, "Oh, this is your Pittsburgh take to brew," and I've said this now many times recently that for me, the Cowboys and the Steelers, I have very near identical views about both these teams being boom or bust. I mean, I think at the core of it for me, this Cowboys team, Dak is too much of a veteran. He's been around for too long. And CeeDee Lamb's been around. Pickens, I mean, like just those 3 guys alone on offense, I don't know, man. You have to be a really bad offensive coach to not be able to find something there to not at least have a handful of games where you guys, where they can really get things going. I mean, Dak would have to be exceptionally just lost. And the coaching staff would have to be exceptionally lost. And Pickens would have to be an absolute head case and just all over the place. And just like a true diva wide receiver where like just no one can really reel him in. And Tomlin was just doing a great job of just keeping that even close to being, serviceable. And I do believe Eiflu will have this defense again at the minimum competent. So I guess the way I look at it is it's like the offense should be competent. The defense should be competent. You have competent on offense, competent on defense. And you have obviously more than a competent quarterback. You have a quarterback who's been in the NFL now for nearly 10 years or so. Like this is not some second 30-year player here. So I find it hard to believe that they're going to win 5 games. I mean, unless the schedule, who they're playing, everyone ends up just being pretty high level. Everyone's firing at all cylinders. I guess, maybe. But like I said, though, the reason why it's the floor is even possible to me is because I think it can explode, because who knows what's going on with Micah? Who knows what's going on with Pickens? CD Lamb doesn't really seem that interested to me in terms of trying to rally the troops together. Unless Micah is really satisfied with how things unfold with Jerry Jones, I don't see him doing that. And Dak just does not have that clout in the locker room. I mean, he just doesn't, that's not him. And he's never really had that in Dallas. So, if there's any type of adversity and Dak's giving a rallying cry to the team to stay together and come on, let's go. We're facing adversity, blah, blah, blah. It's just I just don't see it happening. So I think if things are just kind of on the smoother end, then they can win a lot of games. But if they hit obstacles early on, then it could be lost. In a lot of ways, it could be kind of like what we saw with the Chicago Bears. I think that might actually be a very perfect comparison to that. I think the Dallas Cowboys have more mature veterans there, of course, and obviously a way more experienced quarterback than Caleb Williams was as a rookie. But it's kind of one of those things where it's you could have been 5-2 or 5-1, whatever the heck it was. You had a really bad, rough outing against Commanders, lost to a Hail Mary, and then everything imploded from there. That's actually honestly, and I kind of just wandered into that comparison. It's kind of a perfect recent example of what the Cowboys could be, where they could win some games and be successful and, like I said, competent. It's hard to imagine that you could be competent on both sides of the ball with a veteran quarterback, with some 1.5 veteran receivers and some key veteran defensive players and an experienced defensive coach on the other side of the ball. It's just 5 wins is for teams that are exceptionally bad. Usually the quarterback's a mess. The coaching staff's a mess, right? Everyone's on the brink of being fired. You're on the brink of drafting another quarterback, or your quarterback got injured. It just 5-12 just seems so low to me. Which is what makes a conversation like this fun too, because winning 11 games, I feel like the Cowboys would need a lot of perfect circumstances. But I don't know. That's why it's I gotta go with the ceiling over the floor if I'm forced to pick right now. But I just have to imagine that I understand what Nick is saying in terms of just the stat argument. They're going to be behind in a lot of games, but I don't know. They can't get off to hot starts though. I would be surprised if their scripted plays in the first half again with CD and Pickens. Dak's good enough to navigate that. He definitely is. So I don't know. 5-12 just feels too low to me to have any degree of confidence that they were going to be 5-12. I honestly can't get there. I know a lot of people are ready to watch the Cowboys crash, but I just don't see it as a guarantee. I see them as fragile. I see them as a house of cards that can absolutely collapse. But until that actually happens, I just can't go in there with that mentality. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Dallas Cowboys? More likely for Dallas to hit the ceiling or the floor? 11-6 or 5-12? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.